Welcome to The Explainer. Let's be real for a second and think back to your school years. We spent, over a decade learning advanced trigonometry, the periodic table, the whole shebang. Yet, almost none of us were taught how money actually works. It's incredibly frustrating, right? While the top 1% are passing down these core wealth principles at the dinner table, the rest of us are just kinda left to figure it out on our own. Well, not anymore. Today, we're decoding the exact blueprint for personal wealth management.
$500,000. Now, that's not a lottery winning, and no, it's not some massive corporate inheritance. That is a number entirely within reach for literally anyone who understands just a few basic rules of the game. Over the next few minutes, we're going to fix that financial education of yours and unlock the cheat codes the wealthy use every single day.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the magic of compound interest. Second, decoding your credit score. Third, good debt versus bad debt. Fourth, the pay yourself first rule, which, by the way, is a trick banks hope you never learn. And finally, number 5, the financial seatbelt. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The magic of compound interest. Albert Einstein reportedly called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. And honestly, the gravity of that is absolutely spot on. It's essentially the sheer force of money making money, and then that new money making even more money. We're talking exponential growth here. It's the hidden engine behind almost every single self-made fortune out there. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine starting at age 25. You invest just $200 a month at an average 7% return. By the time you hit 65, you've got over $500,000. But here is the absolutely wild part. Only $96,000 of that was actually money you put in. The rest, pure growth. Now let's say you wait 10 years and start at 35. You put in the exact same monthly effort, but by 65, you end up with less than half the money. Less than half. The game of wealth is actually pretty simple. Time in the market always beats timing the market.
Number 2, decoding your credit score.
Think of your credit score like your financial reputation. 35% of it is simply your payment history. Basically, do you pay your bills on time? But the next slice, this is absolutely vital. 30% is your credit usage. If you want to keep that reputation pristine, you've got to keep your credit usage under 30% of your total limit. Ideally, keep it under 10%. Then 15% is account age, which, by the way, is exactly why you never ever close your oldest cards. The remaining 20%? That's just a mix of credit types and new inquiries. See? It's just a math formula, not magic.
Okay, we need to stop right here and emphatically debunk a massive myth. You do not need to carry a balance and pay interest to build a good credit score. I hear this all the time, and it is completely false. You can absolutely maintain a top-tier credit score while paying your card off in full every single month. Bottom line, never pay banks interest just to buy a score.
Moving right along to number 3, good debt versus bad debt.
So everyone thinks debt is the villain, right? Well, not exactly. Before you take out a loan or even swipe that credit card, I want you to pose this immediate gut check to yourself. Ask, will this debt make me money later? Or is it just disappearing the exact moment I spend it? Asking yourself this simple question will completely change how you borrow.
Good debt is actually a tool. It grows in value or boosts your earning power, like getting an appreciating mortgage or maybe a strategic student loan. It actively boosts your long-term net worth. Bad debt, on the other hand, evaporates your net worth the literal second you sign for it. We're talking about high-interest credit cards, payday loans, or financing a rapidly depreciating car at like a 20% APR. Good debt builds wealth. Bad debt, it just traps you.
All right, number 4, the pay yourself first rule. This is the big one.
The traditional flow of money, the whole broke budget that most people are stuck in, is a total trap. Here's how it usually goes. Income arrives, and boom, it immediately goes out to bills. Whatever is left over goes to lifestyle and fun. Finally, at the very end of the month, you look at what little is remaining and try to put that into savings. But mathematically and psychologically, there is almost never anything left.
Now here is the flipped wealthy blueprint. You just change the order of operations. Income comes in, and step 2 is immediately savings. You pay yourself first. Even if it's just 10%, automate it the exact day you get paid. Only after that, you handle your bills and your fun. The money gets invested before you even really see it. And you know what? You'll naturally adapt to living on that remaining 90% because you aren't going to miss money you never even touched. Honestly, this one automated habit is the single biggest predictor of long-term wealth.
And that brings us to number 5, the financial seatbelt.
Okay, I know this part isn't super sexy, but you absolutely must have a separate account containing 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses, just sitting there untouched. Think of it as your financial seatbelt. This fund is quite literally the only thing standing between a surprise $1,000 car repair and you being forced into high-interest, bad debt. It's not about growing this specific money, right? It's about ensuring you are never backed into a corner and forced into a terrible financial decision when life inevitably throws you a curveball.
All right, let's do a rapid-fire recap of these 5 pillars. 1. Compound interest massively rewards those who start early. 2. Your credit score rewards consistency, definitely not paying interest. 3. Good debt builds your earning power, while bad debt instantly drains your net worth. 4. The ultimate wealth hack is paying yourself first and doing it automatically. And 5. Always maintain an emergency fund as your financial seatbelt.
You now hold the exact blueprint the 1% learned around their dinner tables. The mystery is totally gone, and the path forward is clear. The only thing left now is execution. So, I have a question for you. What exactly will you do with your very next paycheck? Are you going to stick to that traditional flow, or are you finally going to pay yourself first? If this explainer brought you some value today, go ahead and subscribe and keep exploring fascinating insights with us just like this one. Catch you next time.